So I have a stack of 4Ks here, the majority of which are from Warner Brothers, with a few from Universal. I've seen most of these. You've probably seen most of these. There's a few of them I haven't seen, but we will talk about it. And I will talk about the quality because I have went and viewed these. I have previewed them and looked at the quality. If I didn't get to watch them all the way, I at least looked at the quality. And I will say this, they all look great. So, yeah. So there's not a bad looking 4K in this particular haul here. But this one here is one of the Warner Brothers ones, and it is Aqua Teen Hunger Force, Aqua Teen Forever, Plantasm. Not sure what the plot is on this one just yet. Haven't watched it. I used to watch Aqua Teen Hunger Force when I was a kid, teenager, I guess, and that's been many moons ago. So I need to give this one a watch. It's only like 77 minutes long, so it's not that long. With the Plantasm name, I feel like we're going to be referencing some Phantasm, which I'm all for. This one come with a big poster. I'm not going to fold this out, but I'm telling you right now, it is a big poster. So if you like Aqua Teen Hunger Force, and who don't, you can get that, and you can get the poster. Warner Brothers sent in like a big thing of Christmas movies that are getting 4K upgrades. Here is the Polar Express starring Tom Hanks. This is the only one that I've not seen. I did preview it, and it looks great, but I've never watched the Polar Express. Now, how that's happened, for me being as old as I am at this point, I do not know. But it is packed with extras there, as you can see. Of course, special features are on the Blu-ray only, not the 4K disc. All this stuff also has digital copies, so that's good. But, you know, you also get your slipcases, and you can't go wrong with slipcases. So that's Polar Express for your holiday time, for your Christmas time. I ain't going to be politically correct. It's Christmas coming up. These are Christmas movies. Speaking of which, Christmas Vacation. Chevy Chase, my favorite vacation movie from the whole series there. Old Clark and the Griswolds. There you see the new art for this one. Now, I used to have the DVD of this, or the Blu-ray of this, and the Blu-ray looked bad. But this one looks very nice. This one looks cleaned up. This one looks like they actually put some time into this one. And, of course, who don't want to watch, Chevy Chase at home, basically screwing up everything while the family comes to celebrate Christmas. And you get the good old uncle with the shitter full and all that good stuff. So, all of that's here. And it looks really, really good, in my personal opinion. They even went out of their way for the artwork. I think the slipcase looks great on this. Like, look at the artwork. Good stuff. And there is your special features. I don't know if I would say they went out of their way to put new extras on this that wasn't on the old Blu-ray, but they at least put effort into, making a good cover for this one. Speaking of which, our next Christmas movie is A Christmas Story, also from Warner Brothers. One of my favorite movies of all time. Maybe it's because it looped from Christmas Eve to Christmas. I don't know. But this one, to me, is it makes me feel warm and fuzzy. From director Bob Clark, by the way, the same guy who directed, Black Christmas. So, he made two Christmas classics from each end of the spectrum. Of course, little Ralphie here basically just tells his story of a Christmas in particular where he wanted a little Red Ryder BB gun. Of course, everybody told him that he'd shoot his eye out. And, of course, you've got the events leading up to that, with the family here, with his dad and his mom, and he calls the old man, and it's just a great movie in general, and it's a great movie in general that's only an hour and a half. These days, all these movies are just 2 hours long plus, and this one here gets in there and gets its point made in an hour and a half. There's the lamp, Fragile. If you've seen that, then you get that reference. There's pictures from it. They're making another sequel to it, which I guess this one's like more official than the other ones was. We'll see how that ends up. There is your special features. And yeah, again, I don't know if they really went out of their way to put anything new on here, special feature wise, but the slipcase and everything looks nice, and the movie does look great, because I did watch this one first thing, and I'll probably watch it again around Christmas. Maybe Christmas Eve. Maybe I'll do the old cable thing, right? And our last Christmas release from Warner Brothers is Will Ferrell's Elf. And, of course, this looks good. It's got Zooey Deschanel in it. Will Ferrell acting like a man-child, which is what he does best. He's, away from the North Pole. He's in the real world, and he's causing trouble. A funny movie. Not necessarily my favorite movie, but I know people who would put this up there with all the other Christmas movies I just showed you and call it a classic. And who am I to argue? Packed with a lot of special features here. I don't know if the original release of Elf was this packed, because I did not have it. My friend had the DVD, and that's where I watched it when I was like a teenager. But this here, it's the first actual copy of Elf I've owned. And it looks nice, and I'm sure you want to add it to your collection, especially if you're rounding down all these Warner Brothers Christmas 4K releases. So now we'll move to Universal, and we'll just go ahead and start with a masterpiece here, Steven Spielberg's E.T. On 4K, the 40th one. Good God, the 40th one. But it's rounding up because did this movie come out in 83? And I was born in 83, so it's not 40 technically yet, is it? Maybe I'm wrong, because I don't consider myself 40 till February. But, yeah, 40 years of E.T. here, packed to the brim with extras there. And it looks amazing. Like, I watched it. It looks great. I thought the 30th anniversary Blu-ray looked great, but the 40th anniversary 4K has somehow, topped itself. And they really went out of their way for a nice little slipcase and stuff on this. Of course, E.T. is an alien. He crashes Earth. He meets a little boy named Elliot, and pretty soon Elliot and his brother and friends and whatnot are having to save this alien from the government. And I feel like, I watched this one like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. I feel like they did replace the guns with the flashlights on this version, which is a bummer, because I don't think you should be altering things like George Lucas does. But who am I to, tell Steven Spielberg of all people what to do? But yeah, timeless classic. Makes you feel warm and fuzzy like A Christmas Story did. And also one of my top movies of all time. I would give it and Christmas Story a 5 out of 5 if we were doing ratings on these things. But yeah, now these next movies, I can tell you they look good, but I can't tell you a whole lot about them. Can't tell you a whole lot about Casablanca. But apparently this is one of the greatest movies ever made, and I've never seen it. But I did skim through the 4K, and it looked very, very nice. Isn't this movie like 80 years old at this point? Like, what is the year of this movie? I don't see it just sticking out on here, but I feel like this movie is like extremely old. There is your special features. No, something about 1947 there, so it's at least that old. But yeah, maybe I should finally watch this one. I remember, like, I was at Big Lots a while back. They had like a big Blu-ray set of this. And now here we are with this one. And I don't particularly see the year or the anniversary on it, but it's won plenty of awards, and it looks very great. Is this not the movie that has the tears, like the Here's Looking at You Kid or Tears Looking at You Kid? Is that not from this movie? You have to let me know in the comments below. But nonetheless, it looked great what I did see of it, and it's in the 1:33 aspect ratio, so that's how this is. But I will check it out. And of course, another movie I had seen in high school, but it's been forever. Another one from Universal that looks good. It's To Kill a Mockingbird, 60th anniversary. They can put the anniversary on this one. But for some reason, Warner Brothers couldn't be bothered to put the year on this one, this is Warner Brothers. If I say Universal on this one, I'm wrong. This is Warner Brothers. This one, Universal, is To Kill a Mockingbird. I watched this in high school. We're in the Deep South, and this guy here, Atticus here, is a lawyer, and he's having to defend a black man who has been wrongfully charged of rape in a very racist time period of the South. So that's what you got here. There's all of your stuff, plus 2 feature-length documentaries down there. This one is just, I mean, it's a solid, good movie. I don't know if it's something you're going to want to watch all the time, but in my opinion, it's just a solid movie. It's a great movie. I think it kind of varied from what I remember the book being like, was it based off a book or a true story? I remember somebody saying one time that Atticus here wasn't necessarily as wonderful and sensitive to race as he was in this actual movie. But hey, I'm not complaining about that. This movie is out now, 60th anniversary. It looks good. So this is from Universal. You've got To Kill a Mockingbird. From Universal, you've got E.T., 40th anniversary of that one. And then you've got like a gigantic stack of classics from Warner Brothers, like Casablanca, the Christmas stuff of Elf, A Christmas Story, Christmas Vacation, Polar Express, and then and not a classic by any means, I don't reckon, but you do got the new Aqua Teen Hunger Force Plantasm. So yeah, all these available now. Go pick them up.